Or did you find a way to run from the city of the sun? You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Alright, today is May 29th, 2026. It is 1:57 a.m. This is the first video. So I'm probably gonna have several videos tonight on this channel, PYTE, and Team Sussex. I saw a lot of tweets that were popping up. Some of them are old topics, but I don't know why the Sussex squad are bringing them back up again. So which means the Rangers, the Royal Rat, must have been talking about something that made the squad went to get receipts. Okay, but first we're gonna talk about the Australia Invictus. Okay, I put a video out on our Port of View service. This is another channel that I have that focus on Heavy and Meghan's work, and I haven't been putting too much on that channel, so I decided to upload it on that channel. Okay, so we're gonna go over it slightly. It was a short video. I didn't really read anything. I just shared the video. Okay, first tweet. So this is the video that I put on my other channel. I'm gonna share it with you, and I'll read some of the comments here. Australian Veterans Affairs Minister Matt Keogh announcing reinstatement of funding for veterans charity Invictus Australia. Alright, so let's listen. It's 40 seconds, screenshots.
We're providing another 3 years of funding to Invictus Australia. So the Albanese government's establishing a new Veterans and Families Wellbeing Agency, and this implements one of the recommendations of the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide. And as part of establishing the new Veterans and Families Wellbeing Agency, we're transitioning funding for broader wellbeing support to the veteran community to that new agency. And as we transition to having the new Veterans and Family Wellbeing Agency set up, in order to maintain continuity and certainty of support services for our veteran community, we're providing another 3 years of funding to Invictus Australia. We're providing another
That should not have been an issue from the get-go. I don't know why they started it in the first place, meaning that to defund it. Why? Who decided that was a good idea to defund it in the first place? When they know very well there's data that shows it helped the veterans. I don't understand why they decided to brought it up in the first place. I'm pretty sure some people, squaddies in Australia, must have been voicing their voice to fund it again, and there's probably, let's say, Harry and other people who within the Invictus Games family advocate for it to, for it to be funded again. So whoever the unknown, these are the important people. Sometimes we will never know the people in the background beside Harry who probably did some footwork and advocate for those veterans. As much many of us don't like wars, okay, nobody like wars. Meanwhile, the rich and powerful love to start wars, okay. Those soldiers, they're not the one who make those decisions. And I think now young people gonna have to think twice before they they volunteer their time, because the way they treat many of the, then again, this is where sometimes I see different angle of things. Let me finish this first thought. Many of those young people don't volunteer for free anymore, because the outcome it's not beneficial to them. Because once they come back, they not only they are being disrespected, they're not getting the type of help and funding that they need to at least make their life somewhat normal. They will never get back to normal again before they like they were before they joined the service. But at least give them something to live by. Then again, this is the other part as well, is that those rich and powerful, because they love to create wars. And if you look at what's happening in the United States, many of the programs that the US had as a safety net and things like that, and you have Trump who is dismantling everything. So it's gonna put a lot of people in a state of need, and then probably many of them will be joining because this is one of their last resort or something. People who have the ability to vote, they need to pay attention to many of these type of things. Who to vote for, who's warmongers, who every little chance that they get is just start wars. If you see what's happening between the United States and Iran, it's crazy. I don't know when justice is gonna come. Alright, let me read some of the comments and move to the next one. Still talking about Invictus. It was a stupid decision to stop the funding in the first place. Thank you, that's what I'm thinking. While days earlier, a formal announcement was made for an Aussie bid to organize IG 2031. Oh, they did. Let me put this. Yeah, it was less. Okay. So they did. I mean, that's like a backstab. You know what probably happened? Someone probably told them to do it. And they thought that it was going to go quiet. Okay? So they did it anyway. Now the people raised their voice. Whoever live in Australia, let me know. I'm going based on my assumption, my humble opinion. I think there were people in Australia who were upset about it. Okay? And then their voice have been heard, and whoever made the decision to defund it and said, look, to whoever told him to defund it in the first place. I don't know if it's a collective of voice or just one voice. So once the people start, going against it, and the person who made the decision to defund it probably went to whoever told him to defund it, said, okay, you see, I tried, but I'm getting a backlash. I'm going to put something back again to shut the people off. And at the same time, satisfy whoever told him to defund it in the first place. I have an idea, but I don't want to say because I don't know. I'm just going based on my assumption. It should never be defunded in the first place. All of this, all of the thing Harry's doing is to hurt Harry. But meanwhile, Harry is fine. Even if Invictus is gone, Harry have even said he wished we didn't need Invictus.
10 years is a real thing. It's our birthday at Invictus Games Foundation, and we're all very excited and thrilled. And this really is sometimes you can look back and go, look at what we've done, but also given the state of the world, there is so much more to do. And I think there's a lot of uncertainty, but what we've created is this global community amongst so many of us with this shared journey of healing, not just for the individuals, but for their families as well. So what started as a little idea, actually stolen from the Americans, and made bigger and better.
Let's take you back about that moment when you decided to steal this. You went to the Warrior Games, didn't you, in 2013? And just take us through that. You saw what was happening and you thought, right, okay, there's something really special here. Tell us what was your thought process?
Well, the key to that, everybody in this room knows the reasons why, but it's sport. Sport was the magic that I witnessed, and having just come back from Afghanistan myself, seeing the wounded, injured and sick, and seeing the effect this was having on all the families.
And I also feel the same way as well, because the more we have wars, the more Invictus is going to be needed, because each time those soldiers come back home, they're going to need Invictus. So for these rich and powerful to stop Invictus, this is the formula. Don't start wars. Don't start wars, so Invictus will not be needed. that's the solution to end Invictus. But they're trying, it seems like everything that Harry does, they're trying to hurt Harry. But even look at what's happening to Santa Bali. Alright? Harry's fine. It makes those people who dismantling it even look worse. Those petty little for silly stuff. Meanwhile, the people who need it, I know they don't care about the people who need it because they are black. But these are the people who are being suffered. And the same thing can be said for Invictus. If they destroy Invictus and we continue to have wars, the soldiers are going to be the consequences of it. Not Harry. Harry's fine. Okay, did I finish with that? Okay. It was a stupid decision to stop the funding in the first place, while days earlier a formal announcement was made for Aussie bid to organize IG 2031. It's bidding for the Olympic Games, and at the same time you close all sport facilities needed for athletes to compete. Really? Should be compete. Well done. Okay, I didn't know about all of this, but that's good information. I assume she's an Aussie. Alright, this is an ad. Thank God for the vets. Okay, clap. Oh, they'll go bid mad. So happy for them. There's that. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. Oh my God, 9 minutes already. I don't want to do part 1 and part 2. Next one. So this is my response to when I retweeted it when I came across Invictus Games Foundation is being refunded again by Aussies. There's me here. Good job, Aussies. I'm sure there were a lot of advocacies that went behind the scenes. We can't blame the soldiers for the decision of elected officials. They were following orders, they meaning the soldiers, okay? They were following orders, and in the process some don't return physically and others are broken mentally. The government owed them rehab and more.
And just the weight, the load on defense and on the individuals and on the rehabilitation programs, there just wasn't enough being done.
Alright, 6 people like it. So this was the thing I retweeted when I first came across it, and I post that on my community board. Okay, the Invictus Game Foundation welcomes the news of funding reinstatement for Invictus Australia. Our CEO Rob Owen OBE says, quote, fantastic news on the decision to renew federal funding for Invictus Australia, giving the proven impact that sports and community have on veteran recovery, rehabilitation, suicide prevention, through the work of Invictus Australia and wider global movement led by the Invictus Game Foundation. We have seen firsthand how sport can help wounded, injured, and sick veterans rebuild confidence, restore purpose, strengthen family relationships, and connect with their communities. We are delighted to see continued government support in Australia for this work. Yeah, like the comment I was reading before, it should never be defunded in the first place. Alright, so that was the announcement that I came across, and I post that on my community board. Okay, so there's all of this. Great news for such great organization. All the best. Great news, great news. Alright, so this is a video. Did I play the video already? If this is the video again, I'm not gonna play it again. Oh, okay, so this is something different. Okay, veterans, take note on who stand with you. While friends of At the Royal Family and at Kensington Royal stated how satisfied they were that mental health funding was being pulled from Aussie vets, Prince Harry fought to save the lives of his fellow service members. Today, funding is restored. Alright, so I think that was it the one in Canada?
I can testify
to the
energy, the dedication, the
That's
commitment
the former Prime
this
Minister.
man has to you and to this ideal. You have changed the lives of so many people for the better, and for that, we all owe you the deepest debt of gratitude. Thank you.
Yeah, that's when they were in Canada. Is it Canada? Yeah.
My friends, thank you.
Alright, so that's that. Okay, let's read some of the comments again. You have to be an unimaginable level of sick and unhinged to hate Harry and Meghan so much that mental health funding being pulled from veterans give you satisfaction. My God, the royal family and the toxic British press, I guess that's what you meant, have poisoned these people so bad. It's very sad. She retweeted that. Okay, you could pause and read this. So there's all of this. I'm moving on. So now this is a different topic, Meghan. The thing about Invictus should have been on our part of your service, but UK, I'm saying UK, YouTube defunded, so I'm gonna leave it here. So that might be different part. So if I decided to change it to different part, this is part 2.